A-Rod wants to
Okay.
buy the Mets.
I was gonna say I'm sick of the Astros. Let's talk about
Yeah.
A-Rod.
Which I think we're going to get sick of A-Rod a lot, here soon anyway. Brad and I both just finished
Yeah,
the
it's
book
true.
Bloodsport, which is all about A-Rod's PED usage and the suspensions and all the madness. And we'll talk about that in another show. But apparently
Yeah.
he wants to buy the Mets.
He does. And first, Brig, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about A-Rod buying the Mets?
Okay, check it out, right? I think A-Rod is on this sweetheart PR campaign. I think
Oh, 100%.
right, like
Yeah.
everything he's doing is to rewire the public opinion about him so that he can make a Hall of Fame run. That's it. And I think, well, I won't say that. I should withhold some of my opinions because they're, I don't know, dangerous maybe. And if you read Bloodsport, you'll realize why. But I think that until they have a steroid wing or a PED wing in Cooperstown, then and they said this almost word for word in the book Bloodsport. But if they until they have a PED wing in Cooperstown, then he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and he never will. But but now he's trying to make sure that he never leaves baseball, and he's money grabbing at the same time. And boy, okay, he is in love with New York, and
Yes, he is. 100%.
and he wants to be the king of New York because he's chasing this acceptance, right? That's which is part of what you could argue drove him to use performance enhancers in the first place. And he's lost all his family throughout the years. He's lost all his friends throughout the years. He's ostracized tons and tons of people that have been close to him. I don't even know if he's actually in a relationship with J-Lo because maybe he's incapable of actual human emotion. I don't know. It's just possible. Okay, so I think what's happening is, and this is just my opinion. First of all, he has the money. There's no question there. Second of all, his baseball analysis skills are off the charts. The guy knows more about baseball than arguably anybody in the history of baseball. So, so there's that. Talk about a Cinderella story. If this guy can turn around the Mets, which is possible if he takes the reins, then we could see some dramatic shifts coming in New York, and that would be really great. But I think selfishly, it's about money, it's about status, it's about notoriety for A-Rod, and he could get all of those by buying the Mets and turning them around. And then the only other thing I will say about it is that his former best friend and confidant bought his hometown team in Miami.
Right.
So
yeah.
Derek Jeter bought the Marlins, and now the King of New York left, and now A-Rod is going to buy a New York team. I just think that this is drama at its finest, and it's this soap opera crap. And that I don't think Jeter even knows he's a character in anymore, but A-Rod still is like, or whatever. That's what I think.
Yeah. So, first, if he were to buy the Mets, I don't think he'd be a very good owner. I think he'd be one of the meddling owners because he can't keep himself out of
Agreed.
things. Right?
Yes.
And he is so smart. He also knows how smart he is. That I don't. He might be I think he'd be a Jerry Jones type owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Like he'd be the one who's like, I'm going to be the GM. I'm going to make all the calls, and everybody in the organization will answer directly to me because I know what's best. This is how I'm going to run this team. That being said, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Hold on.
At least not while Rob Manfred is the commissioner.
I knew you were going to say that.
So, because anybody who's read Bloodsport knows that he was the one who headed up the Alex Rodriguez investigation, the whole biogenesis thing, and he's not gonna be like, I know what this guy did, I know what he's capable of. Not a chance. Not a chance in the world will he own this team. Not as long as Rob Manfred is commissioner. Maybe if Manfred gets run out because he's done such a poor job investigating the Astros and the Red Sox, or whatever thing he's done horribly, maybe he'll absolutely horribly. Maybe the next commissioner will come in like, oh yeah, we love A-Rod. Yeah, absolutely, he can own a team. I don't know, but at this point in time, not a chance.
How much influence do you think the commissioner has over who can buy a team, though?
I think he has to approve it.
Does he? I didn't know that.
I mean, I know there has to be a vote. That's why Mark Cuban won't own a team, is because Rob Manfred doesn't like Mark Cuban.
No way. I didn't know there was a voting process.
Because he wanted to buy the Cubs. Yeah, he wanted to buy the Cubs, but Manfred was like, "No, I'm not going to let that happen. I don't like that guy."
Oh. So,
yeah, no, there's a whole process to it. It's not just like going up to the owner and exchanging money. They have to be approved to buy it.
Wow.
And so that's why Mark Cuban doesn't own a baseball team, and that's why A-Rod won't buy it.
Okay, you're right. It'll never happen.
So
not until Manfred's gone. But listen.
Yeah.
Would Bob Costas let A-Rod buy a team?
No,
because he's clearly the next in line, like in this sort of reign. I know.
Be.
so like, come on now. He should be. He should be, and we'll get into more of that in a minute. But